Our first guest tonight is a small business owner who pivoted to UPS during the strike. And now, of course, with UPS pausing their shipments, she is facing an even more difficult holiday season. Angela Larson is the owner of Swish, a vintage clothing store, and she's joining us from Edmonton this evening. Angela, thank you so much for being on the program with me.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
I'm curious, when you heard that UPS shipments were being paused and you got that email telling you all about it, how did that hit you?
Oh, it's been devastating to say the least. It was just one more thing in an ongoing battle that we've really been struggling with since the beginning of the postal strike. So this was just the nail in the coffin, I think, to put it mildly.
Yeah, really, because UPS was your pivot to deal with all of this. So what are you going to do now? What other alternatives can you try?
I don't know that there are many alternatives besides just, sending out a plea to our customers who are international or our customers who are outside of Edmonton, just to be patient with us, just to maybe still purchase from a small business, but they're not necessarily going to get it in time for Christmas. We're also really struggling with, because of this backlog that FedEx and UPS and everybody's having, just the actual service from those courier companies has been very poor. They'll make a first attempt at a delivery. If there's no answer, they'll just say, oh, sorry, the person wasn't home, and then the shipment is coming back to us. So we're seeing canceled shipments, we're seeing damaged shipments, we're seeing all kinds of things that go beyond just what's happened in the last 2 days.
You raised the fact there that you are a small business owner. And of course, some small retailers that we've been speaking to have been saying that some of their business has been heading to bigger retailers who are more easily able to absorb the costs of this strike. What have you seen with your customers on that front?
You know, I am very fortunate that I do have a very strong, loyal customer base, but it only goes so far. And as far as trying to attract new clients, we always say over and over and over again that the businesses like Wayfair or Home Depot or Amazon, those are big American companies. They have a lot more clout. They have a lot more shipping power than small businesses. So once again, it always seems to fall on the backs of small businesses who really, really struggle in these times.
The holidays are obviously the busiest time of year for so many businesses. So what kind of revenue loss are you projecting?
Oh, I hate to even go there at this point, but just as an example, just prior to the strike, I think 2 days prior to the Canada Post strike, I had 14 parcels that were dropped off at Canada Post. Close to 30, if not more, 30 to 40% of our business is going outside of Edmonton, so we do rely on some kind of a delivery service. And I want to say too that we are pro-union. We support Canada Post, but it is a really complicated time because small businesses are being so dramatically affected.
Complicated for sure. You mentioned it was devastating right off the top there. I'm curious, what has the impact been on you and your staff? All the pivoting, creating new systems, added admin work, I'm sure. So what's the emotional toll of all this been like on you and your staff?
It feels exhausting. It feels like we're up against a brick wall, that every other day there's something that we're having to deal with. There's a big online seller that most of us use called Poshmark. Poshmark is one of the few businesses that have not pivoted, and they're not even giving us a shipping option. So they're still only allowing sellers to ship through Canada Post. And of course, as you know, that's impossible. So we're losing revenue from that. We're now going to be losing revenue stream from the fact that we can't ship through UPS or Purolator. So it's small business owners have to have strong backbone for sure, just to be in business, period. But this is just more of these challenges that I think are so unnecessary and are just so frustrating.
We know that Canada Post is reviewing the latest proposal from the union. How hopeful are you that this will end soon, before the holidays even?
Oh, we can only hope. We have great postal carriers that take time. They come into our store. If they see that I'm not open, they will make a point of coming the next day. Whereas we have had recently FedEx, and I don't even know who the delivery company was, they opened up the front door of the store and just threw the parcel into a community vestibule there's just not the care and concern. And I feel sorry for those workers too, because they are probably so overwhelmed by this workload. But there has to be some kind of compromise reached. And, we're hoping that it's going to be of benefit to the postal workers, also to small business owners. We are very hopeful.
Well, Angela, it is so much that you're dealing with, so complicated as you laid out, but our hearts go out to you, and we appreciate you spending some time with us this Friday evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. Me.
Angela Larson, owner of Swish, a vintage clothing store, joining us by yourself there in Edmonton.